Mark Zuckerberg, CEO of Facebook's parent company, Meta, will join other tech executives to face a deposition over the Cambridge Analytica scandal.
The depositions are part of a lawsuit filed in California by users who claim they were affected by Facebook's partnership with the UK-based consulting firm. The lawsuit accuses Facebook of violating consumer privacy laws by sharing user data with Cambridge Analytica. Zuckerberg is set to be deposed for 6 hours. Outgoing Chief Operations Officer Sheryl Sandberg is also scheduled to be questioned. The depositions are expected to take place over the next 2 months.
CBS News tech reporter Dan Patterson joins us now for more on this. Hi there, Dan. So it has been a while since we talked about Cambridge Analytica. We had talked about this quite a bit a few years ago. Remind us of the details here surrounding the Cambridge Analytica scandal.
Cambridge Analytica was kind of a pivot point, a turning point for Facebook's relationship with data. So let's do a little refresher. In 2016, allegedly, Cambridge Analytica scraped Facebook profiles by asking users to engage in quizzes. Now, this sounds fairly benign, but this was kind of a loophole that allowed them to access not just your profile details, but kind of a friend of a friend of a friend. They could chain all of these profiles together, giving them access to tens of millions of profiles who did not consent to turn over their data. The data that they did access was more than just maybe your name or your location. It was intimate information about you that you had given Facebook. So they had scraped this data, compiled it, and engaged in what they called psychographic targeting. Now, that's a fancy word for advertising, but advertising that was designed to engage and enrage users. They then turned around and sold their services to first the Ted Cruz campaign and then later the Donald Trump campaign.
Now, Facebook agreed to pay a $5 billion fine to the FTC in 2019 over the scandal, but critics are pushing for more accountability. What significance is the lawsuit today?
That's right, Christina. Now, look, $5 billion is a lot of money, but to Facebook, a $1 trillion company or an almost $1 trillion company, it's not a lot of money. What's really at stake here is Facebook's or Meta's CEO, Mark Zuckerberg, and his deputy or former deputy, Sheryl Sandberg. Both of them will be deposed for hours at a time about Cambridge Analytica specifically, now that these plaintiffs have had years to gather data, put together a case, and compile questions that will be highly targeted. Now, Facebook says that, look, these leaders have been deposed before, no big deal, but given the amount that we now know about Cambridge Analytica and the results of Cambridge Analytica being political targeting, these questions could be very pointed, and again, they will be under oath.
And depositions can be dangerous for big companies that might have some stuff they want to hide. Is there any sense that these depositions could be fishing for something else that could come out in the process?
Well, they could. You know, there is also these alleged insider trading allegations that happened in Delaware. That is part of a very similar lawsuit that Delaware is launching. Look, we could learn a ton that, you know, we're just not really sure what will come out, but it will be pointed and it will be very revealing stuff we just haven't known about one of the world's largest and most influential social networks.
So let's talk a little bit about that lawsuit you mentioned. Facebook is also facing a lawsuit in Delaware that alleges its executives improperly sold shares as it faced multiple scandals. What can you tell us about that litigation?
So this litigation is designed to find out if there was insider trading. So Facebook settled a lawsuit with the FTC for $5 billion, and they allegedly did it very quickly, designed to keep Mark Zuckerberg from testifying because shares were bought and sold during this period of time and because that affected the stock price. There are these new allegations that there was, and Mr. Zuckerberg sold quite a few shares. There were these allegations that insider trading occurred because insider information is what was at stake here.
Dan Patterson, thank you very much.
Good to see you.
Nice to see you, too.